I'm gonna get down and dirty with this week's makeup beauty bag, weekly beauty bag. Shopped my stash yesterday, and these are the products that I pick out to use for the whole entire week, including the Soft Glam by Anastasia Beverly Hills, as voted by you. Going in with an F61 Sigma brush to apply my eyeshadow base of the MAC Select Coverup NW15, and this is going to be a primer for our eyeshadow because I'm doing my eyes first. This is the eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using for the week. If you don't know it already, this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's well loved. This is absolutely one of my favouriteest palettes ever. I highly recommend, whenever anyone asks me what are my favourite palettes, this is always one of them. And the black is extremely pigmented, so in comparison to Charlotte Tilbury last week, this black is extremely pigmented, a lot of fallout with it, but it is a dream for a makeup artist just to be able to put on and blend it out, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury one last week was much more buildable and less intimidating. So the first look of the week, I'm going to go and do something quite simple. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this nice brown shade here called Rustic. I'm using my E25 brush by Sigma, that's the shape of it. With these eyeshadows, you only need the tiniest bit. I'm going extremely gentle there with the brush into the eyeshadow. And we're going to bring that shade into the crease. So I'm stamping and wiggling the first shade down because we did not set that concealer. And when you're going onto a wet base, you want to set down the eyeshadow first before you start swishing it around. Otherwise, it could turn out a little bit muddy. So I'm just tapping that in there now just to make sure that it's all setting into the concealer. Next, we're going to bring that crease shade up a little bit towards the eyebrow. So going into the exact same shade again. I'm going to keep my eyes open this time just so I can see where the eyeshadow is ending up when my eyes are in a neutral state. And it's so important as well, if you have a little bit of a hood on your eyes, to do your eyeshadow when your eyes open, especially if it's eyeshadow that you want it to be seen. So I'm gone up there now a little bit up towards the brow with the same brush. Now I'm going to go into this shade. It's actually nearly gone, but a bone shade is called Tempera, and I'm just going to set the rest of the concealer underneath the brow and melt it together with the edge of the brown, and that will give you like a seamless, smooth looking finish to the eyeshadow, and that there's going to be no harsh lines and it's going to look professionally done. Next shade I'm going to go into is this shade here called Fairy. It's a beautiful yellow gold shade, and keeping things simple, going to use my finger. We're going to pop that all over the lid, and we're just going to rub it right on and rub it in. It's easy. And I'm also going to do the other side as well. And you'll notice I usually do the outer V with dark eyeshadows on most eye looks that I do. I just love how it flatters the eye. But this time I'm not going to do it. It's just such a simple look, this look. And with our finger, we're just going to smudge the edge of the crease shade into that Fairy lid shade. And that's it. So simple. Next, we're going to add a little bit of liner using the palette. So we're not even using a different product yet. I've it done on this eye, as you can see, and now we're going to do this eye together. So just grabbing any kind of an angle brush. This is my angle brush here. It is the E75 by Sigma. I'm going to go into this really dark brown shade. It's not even the black shade, it's the brown, and we're going to dip in the brush into it and get it nice and saturated. Tap off any excess, that will avoid some of the fallout. And when you're doing a eyeliner with eyeshadow, you have to tap it on. So usually with liquid liner, you'll like start in the middle or wherever you start and then do a swooshing motion and it's all done. But you need to tap on, especially if you want it to come up pigmented, you need to go tapping along. Nice little small little taps. And this is easier to control as well. And it's easier to fix any mistakes, especially with eyeliner. We all know the struggle is real. That is it for eyes for now. I'm going to come back to them in just a little while. I'm adding my primer on now. This is the Face Studio Prime Pore Minimizing Primer by Maybelline. This really reminds me of the Pore Professionals by Benefit. Get those little boys that are going on around here. And I have a monster. Oh my god. I've had it for like about 2 weeks now and it won't go away. So I'm adding some primer because I'm going to show you how to conceal it. Using the same concealer as the one I primed my eyes with, I'm just going to go tap a good bit on top of that there. really good amount, and I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes before I go near it again and see how it's looking. It is very swollen. It's very hard to cover when it's like in that state, but we'll see how we get on now today with this. Next step is foundation. So the foundation I'm using this week is the Dream Radiant Liquid by Maybelline. I'm using the shade 04 Lite Porcelain. There's some really good ingredients in here like hyaluronic acid and collagen. So I think it's like a medium coverage. We'll see how we get on with it for the week. Well, that foundation feels like silk on my skin. It feels really nice, and it looks nice and glowy as well, which is what I'm all about lately, really. I'm really loving the glow. So underneath my eyes, I'm going to go in with the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. So in this, it looks super pink, but then when it goes on your eyes, it just melts into the skin. Just going to apply it with my ring finger, and then I'm going to blend it out with whatever's left on my concealer brush from earlier, and that will add in more concealer. Not that I need too much with this brightening under eye corrector, but we'll see how it shows up after we blend it out with that little brush. Just like that. Doesn't really need too much thinking about. Just pop it on, and it just helps even everything out. Next, I'm going to go in with bronzer. I absolutely love Hoola Light by Benefit, and this is an F10 brush by Sigma, and I'm just going to start extremely lightly, almost barely touching the skin, just depositing down that powder first in circular motions. Like, I can't express how light, like, can you see how lightly I'm touching the skin? All you want to do is kind of pop down the powder and then be able to blend it out. I also have some bit of skin kind of peeling here on this side. I'm not sure what that's about. I don't know if it's from that glycolic serum that I was using the week before last, and if my skin is reacting to that now, like if it's peeling now, but it's fine. The foundation is covering it up and it's barely noticeable. You wouldn't even notice it in person. It's just that I'm like right up close on camera with it. So next I'm going to go into blush. The blushes that I picked out for this week is this one here in the Master Blush palette by Maybelline. Just going to use this one right here, using the exact same brush, and we're going to apply. I find these blushes last really well without having to top them up, or even without having to reapply them after you have your whole face finished. Like, I always usually have to reapply another little bit of blush because I find that my face just eats it. So I always add that on, and it lasts. The foundation didn't fully cover up my few spots that I have there, which would mean it's more of a light to medium coverage. For highlighter, I picked out Benefit's Cookie Highlighter. Absolutely, definitely one of my most favorite highlighters, and I'm using an F64 brush to apply it from Sigma, and we're just going to light up the skin with Cookie at the tops of the cheekbones, on the bridge of the nose, tip of the nose a little bit, Cupid's bow on the other side here, up here a little bit, being a little bit extra, you know the drill. Moving over to brows, just brushing out with a spoolie. The eyebrow product I'm going to be using today and for the week is the Benefit Goof Proof in the shade 3. And we're just going to fill in the brows all along. So this is a great one. When you're filling in your brows, you're literally just drawing the product onto the skin. And some brow products then will cover up your hairs and give your hairs a different colour. But if you have grey hairs, I find the best product to help cover up grey brow hairs is a coloured mascara. So I'm going to finish popping this on all over, and we're going to move back to the eyes then. I've gone ahead and I've added my nude pencil into the waterline. I always use Inkblock Kohl pencil, it's brilliant. And I'm going to go back in with a 39p brush from Inkblock. You can see the shape, it's kind of wide and dense. I'm going to go into the under lash line. So I'm going to go back into this shade here. That's the first shade that we use into the crease. And we're just going to pop that all along the lower lash line, just to give some depth to the lower lashes. I find that the eyes can look a little bit bare if we don't put any eyeshadow there, and we don't want bare eyes. Keeping the eye look so super simple. I'm just popping on my highlighter on my pinky finger and using that as the inner corner highlight to the look, and you could totally skip this step if you didn't want to have an inner corner highlight. Almost there. Lashes. We're going to slap on a lick of mascara. The mascara I'm using is the Falsies Lash Lift Mascara by Maybelline. So far so good with this one. This is second week using this mascara and it hasn't failed me yet. Moving on to lips, I've completely lined my lips now with Whirl lip liner by MAC. I'm going to go in on top with Velvet Teddy. It looks like this, I know the state of mine. But I totally forgot to set my face with a setting spray. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll do it tomorrow because I put on my mascara and I hate setting my face after I do my mascara. And I think I've overlined my lips really badly today. Ugh. Oh well. I completely just threw that on. So that is the finished look. I am going to take like some photographs and pop it on my feed. Super simple. Really easy. Like, it didn't really take me that long at all. And Glam just, it does all the work. I hardly ever use this gold shimmer shade. I think it's quite yellow. It would look beautiful on a darker skin tone than mine. I just think it's very yellow on me, but it's still beautiful. It's really nice. I never wear Velvet Teddy, and it's really nice nude. I think it's just a bit brown on me to kind of, I don't know. I prefer Vision, I think it is, by It Cosmetics, but this is still a very nice look and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Super easy. If you have any questions, of course I'm always here, just let me know.